Let's be honest for a second. You wake up in the morning, walk into the kitchen, start the coffee, and then you realize the only sound in the house is the coffee machine. And even that just makes a faint hiss every now and then. You turn on the TV, morning news. The host says, "Good morning." But the only reply from you is the sound of the sugar hitting your cup. Come on, admit it. Sometimes the house is so quiet. Even the fridge motor starts to hum like it's saying, "What's up, man?" And this is where getting older starts to feel a bit dangerous. Because it's no longer just about being alone. It's about how loneliness quietly starts planting dynamite under your health. Not with colorful wires, but with cortisol, blood pressure, and your immune system. Being alone can feel emotionally sad, sure. But here's the real danger. Science says loneliness isn't just a mood killer. It's a real health risk, and not even a rare one. Chronic loneliness increases the risk of heart disease, stroke, and a weakened immune system. And you know what's the weirdest part? It's as dangerous as smoking. I'm serious. Scientists literally said, it's like smoking 15 cigarettes a day. You know what that means? Instead of 15 Marlboros, just sitting by the window alone can knock you out. And the price? Pretty much the same. The risk is identical. So what does the body do in response to loneliness? Think of it like this. To protect you, your body boosts stress hormones. It says, this person's alone, something's bound to happen, and it kicks into alarm mode. Cortisol spikes, blood pressure jumps, the immune system gives up, which means even the tiniest cold could wipe you out for 3 weeks. You can't bounce back without watching 2 full episodes of a series first. And then, lying in bed under the blanket, staring at the ceiling, this thought hits you. I wish I had tea with someone. That's the real face of loneliness, and it shows up in moments like that. Now, of course, loneliness doesn't show up overnight. It sneaks in. At first, going outside starts to feel like a chore. Then, you start ignoring calls. I'll call back tomorrow, you say? And then one day, no one calls at all. Because you're always busy, right? Always too busy. And that's how loneliness becomes a habit. And the body thinks that habit is depression. It messes with your brain chemistry. You forget things more easily, your mood drops, your sleep disappears. So loneliness doesn't just make someone quiet. It slows you down, weakens you, and sometimes ends you without warning. So what can you do to avoid this? It's actually simple. No one's asking you to give a TED Talk. A hello is enough. Knock on your neighbor's door, ask, "Got any olives?" Even if they don't, that starts a conversation. Tell your grandkids, "Help me set up video calls." Then be the one who calls first every morning. Grab your coffee, see their faces. If you make eye contact with someone while walking through the neighborhood, say good morning. If they don't reply, that's their problem. But your heart will be lighter. Go to the community center, have some tea, eat some cake, lose at bingo. But don't sit alone in your living room hoping the TV's "Dear Viewer" will make you feel seen. Loneliness might become a habit, but it's not something we should get used to, especially after 60. At that age, not just being alone, but becoming more and more isolated isn't something we can afford. Because life, real life, gets better when shared. And sometimes, the sound of a person's voice works better than the most expensive medicine. So now, yes, right now, call that person you're thinking about. Ask, "What are you up to today?" If you need a reason, make one up. Even, "I can't open this jar" works. Just make a connection. Because people who stay connected don't fall. When loneliness calls your name, you call someone else. That's when these years stop being just age and start being joy. Leg cramp woke you up at night? No, you weren't running in a dream. You woke up this morning, but you haven't forgotten the night. Because at exactly 3:17 a.m., just when you were deep asleep, a sharp pain shot through your left leg. And not just a little twitch. No, it felt like your muscles were staging a full-blown protest yelling, "We're on strike." You almost wonder, did I run a marathon in my dream and just don't remember it? But the answer is simpler, quieter, and more dangerous: magnesium deficiency. Now think about it for a second. Why have you been feeling so tired lately? Why do you sleep but still wake up exhausted? Why can't you focus on anything for more than 5 minutes? You may have brushed it off as just getting old, but the truth might be this. Your body's been whispering, "Hey buddy, we're out of magnesium." See, this mineral, it's the silent hero. It's involved in everything, from your muscles to your heart, from your sleep to your memory. But it never makes a fuss. It works quietly. That is, until you start running low. Magnesium plays a role in over 300 biological processes. It keeps your heart rhythm steady, helps your muscles relax, and reduces those weight. Why did I come in here again? Brain fog moments. But as you age, your body absorbs less of it. You know that saying, even sugar feels heavy in tea when you're older? Same goes for magnesium. Your body just doesn't pull it out of food like it used to. And if you're on acid blockers, diuretics, or eat too many sugar-free chocolates, your body's basically saying, how am I supposed to get any magnesium around here? So what happens? Cramps. You wake up in the middle of the night screaming, AH. And as if that wasn't enough, you spend the day tired, weak, irritable, and you have no idea why. That's magnesium deficiency for you. It messes with your nights and ruins your days. You can't rest, and you can't remember anything. Basically, it turns you into a forgetful, cranky zombie. But no one says that out loud, because everyone thinks it's just normal aging. So how do we get this silent hero back? It starts at the table. Spinach, chard, almonds, pumpkin seeds, avocado, all full of magnesium. But let's be honest, how many of us wake up thinking, give me a handful of pumpkin seeds? That's why this takes some awareness. And if needed, take a supplement, but not the one your neighbor recommends. Talk to your doctor first, check your kidneys, check your meds, and then take the right kind. And here's the thing, not all magnesium is the same. Got brain fog? Go for magnesium threonate. Muscle pain? Try magnesium malate. Digestive issues? You want magnesium citrate. The old one pill fixes all mindset doesn't work anymore. Now you get targeted solutions. Technology's come a long way, but first, you have to notice the signs. And the result? Fix your magnesium, and you'll sleep through the night, wake up cramp-free, and feel energized during the day. As a bonus, your memory might improve too. If you're saying, wait, what was I just talking about? 4 times a day maybe. Just maybe. You're one handful of almonds short of clarity. This isn't aging. It's uninformed aging. That's why we're here. With knowledge, with humor, with broccoli. And still standing. If you're not moving, your muscles are quietly leaving you. Let's be honest. Sitting at home feels great. The couch is cozy, the remote's in your hand, the tea is hot. But the moment you need to stand up, that crack from your knee ruins the whole piece. You stand up and your knee complains like, I was ready to retire anyway. And then what happens? You tell yourself, I'll just sit a little longer today. Then that today becomes 2 days. Then 5. And before you know it, 6 months have gone by, and your knees have no interest in standing anymore. That's when the silent breakup with your body begins. Physical inactivity spreads so sneakily as we age that you don't notice it at first, but your body does, especially your muscles. Because muscles, when not used, don't just stay still, they check out. And I'm not being dramatic here. They literally start disappearing. The scientific name? Sarcopenia. In plain English. If you don't take care of yourself, your muscles will pack up and leave. Losing muscle as we age is natural. But when you stop moving, this process speeds up like crazy. After age 50, you lose about 1 to 2% of your muscle every year. Think about it. In just 10 years, that's almost 20% gone. One day, you find yourself out of breath from climbing a few stairs. You start needing support just to get out of a chair. Or you go to the park and just sit, watching your grandkids play instead of joining in, because now you feel like you've got no strength left. But that strength was yours all along. You just didn't use it, so it gave up on you. And it's not just muscles. Being inactive throws everything off. Your joints stiffen up. The weight starts piling on, especially around your belly. And that kind of fat is directly linked to heart disease, diabetes, even some cancers. What happens then? The less you move, the weaker your defense system gets. Your immune system drops. Your sleep gets worse. In short, your entire body feels the impact of not moving. But here's the worst part. After a while, you start to think this slow decline is just normal. You tell yourself, I'm just getting older, that's life. But the truth is, there's a fix. And no, it doesn't involve sweating for hours on a treadmill. Just 30 minutes of walking a day. A couple of laps around the yard. Doing sit-to-stand reps on a chair at home. Or honestly, just stretching during every commercial break. You don't need to be an athlete to fight back. All you need is to push against gravity, just a little. Even the World Health Organization says it, 150 minutes of moderate exercise a week. That's only 20 to 25 minutes of walking a day. And it helps more than just your muscles. It lifts your mood, boosts your memory, even helps regulate your bathroom schedule. A moving body works better, feels better, and most importantly, doesn't feel old. So let's wrap this up. Your body, your muscles, your joints, they're all quietly saying, "Don't forget me." And when you do forget them, they start to fade away. But give them just a little attention, a little movement, and they'll come back. Don't let stillness become your routine. You can't stop getting older, but you can choose how you age. Get up. Take a few steps today. Tomorrow, you'll go even further. And remember, if you're still on your feet, that means the game isn't over yet. It's sunny outside, but you feel weirdly low inside. Maybe what's missing isn't just a little D. Let's take a look for a second. You open the curtains in the morning, and it's bright and sunny outside, but you still feel like your brain hasn't fully woken up. Your mood is like your morning tea, warm, but not satisfying. There's this strange heaviness inside you. It's like your body is saying, "More bed, please," instead of "good morning." Let's be real. Anyone can feel like this, no matter their age. But after 60, this mood often gets labeled as just part of getting older. But it's not. This quiet decline probably has a name: vitamin D deficiency. Yes, that stuff you're supposed to get from sunlight. Vitamin D was known for years as the bone vitamin. People said, "Good for osteoporosis," and moved on. But turns out, this vitamin is packed with benefits. Immune system, heart health, brain function, mood, even your gut might be asking, "Hey, is there any D around here?" According to some studies. But here's what happened. As we got older, we stopped going out in the sun. We put on sunscreen, wear long sleeves, and if the balcony's in the shade, we avoid that too. The result? Your body sees the sun, but says, "I have no idea what to do with this anymore." Think about it. Have you been getting sick more often lately? Does your throat get sore after the smallest breeze? Do bad moods show up and stick around for 3 days? These could all be symptoms of low D. Your body's saying, "I don't have the energy to fight. The sun may be shining, but none of it's getting to me." And it's not just physical, it messes with your mind too. Sunlight helps your brain release happiness hormones. But when you're low on vitamin D, that happiness switch gets stuck. That's why you feel down in the mornings for no reason and tired all day for no reason. Then you say the classic line, "I guess I'm just getting old." Don't. Your age is not an excuse. There's a fix. Just 15 to 20 minutes in the sun each day. Let your arms and legs get a little exposure. That's enough. But if it's winter or you live up north, that won't cut it. That's when supplements come in. But not just any. Go for D3, preferably with K2. That combo supports both your bones and your heart. Nobody talks about this because it sounds like a chemistry lesson, but it's not. It's simply what you need to stop feeling like you're stuck in the dark even when the sun's shining. And yes, talk to your doctor first. A simple blood test can tell you everything. But please don't say, "I live somewhere sunny, I must be fine." Lots of people live in sunny places, but only see the sun when walking to their car from the grocery store. Your body doesn't care about the weather. It only cares whether or not it actually made any vitamin D. So let's sum it up. If you're low on D, you won't have energy or joy. And the worst part? You'll think, "Well, I guess this is just how life is now." No, life is still beautiful. You just need a little sunlight, a little D, and maybe to drink your morning coffee by the window. Foggy brain, low energy, mood in the gutter? Codename, B12 and zinc. Let me list a few things that probably sound familiar. You walk from one room to the kitchen to grab something. But by the time you get there, you've forgotten what it was. You can't remember someone's name, but you can instantly recall the last name of a random side character from the show you watched last week. And the tiredness? Don't even get me started. You have your morning coffee, but it tastes like it was brewed with bleach, no flavor, no energy. You feel tired, forgetful, and a little blah. And then comes the classic line, "Guess I'm just getting old." Stop. This isn't about age. What you're probably missing are two little things: vitamin B12 and zinc. Yup, these two are like undercover agents in your body. They work silently in the background. Nobody notices them. But when they disappear, everything starts to fall apart. B12, especially, is like the CEO of your nervous system. Memory, focus, nerve signaling. It's the boss of all that. But as we get older, paying that boss gets harder. Because your stomach starts saying, I can't absorb this vitamin the way I used to. Vitamin B12 comes attached to proteins in food. Your body has to break it down first. It can't use it otherwise. But if your stomach acid isn't strong enough, and for most people over 50, it isn't, then the B12 can't break free. If you're also on antacids or meds like metformin for blood sugar, things get even trickier. So when you wake up forgetful, drift through the day in a haze, and feel off or anxious in the evening, those might be B12 deficiency signals, clear ones, even if they don't shout. And zinc? That's the unsung hero of your immune system. If your cuts heal slowly, if food tastes a little dull, if your hair's thinning, or your sense of smell has faded, zinc might be the missing piece. But what do we usually say? That's normal at this age. Don't. Because these issues can be fixed, and once fixed, they make a big difference. When your B12 levels are where they should be, energy comes back. You open your eyes more easily in the morning. That mental fog lifts. You stop saying, "Wait, what was I talking about?" every 10 minutes. And best of all, your mood improves. Because yes, low B12 is even linked to depression. So maybe your mood isn't broken, maybe it's just missing something. And zinc, that boosts immunity, makes your body more resilient to infections. In short, all those things you chalk up to aging might just be fixed with a handful of the right nutrients. So what's the fix? Red meat, eggs, and fish are great B12 sources. But if your stomach can't absorb it, you'll need a supplement. That could be daily tablets, sublingual lozenges, or doctor-recommended injections. For zinc, try seafood, pumpkin seeds, or lentils. But if you're not feeling hungry enough for all that, even a simple zinc supplement can help. Just don't go by what your neighbor recommends. Get a blood test. Talk to a doctor. Then take what you actually need. Because with vitamins, too little is bad, but too much is trouble too. But if you get it just right, then even after 60, you can wake up in the morning and say, "Today, I've got my energy back." Calcium and iron. While dreaming of strong bones, don't let your heart pay the price. Now picture this. You walk into a pharmacy. The shelves are overflowing. Labels are shouting at you in bold letters. For your bones, for energy, for those defying age. And of course, you say to yourself, "Well, I'm defying age too. Let me grab some calcium. Maybe even some iron, so I'll be strong as steel." And right there, that well-meaning health move slowly turns into sabotage. Because some things, as you age, are needed less, must be taken more carefully, and require more knowledge. Calcium and iron are at the very top of that list. When taken without knowing, in excessive amounts, they stop helping your bones and start working against your arteries. And yet, you keep swallowing them, thinking, "But these are healthy, right?" Let's start with calcium. Yes, it's important for bones. Nobody's denying that. But your body can't tolerate it beyond a certain limit. When you were younger, too much calcium might have just been a well moment. But as you get older, things change. Extra calcium gets into the bloodstream, and the body starts asking, "Where am I supposed to put this?" There's no room left in the bones, so it starts sticking it to artery walls, especially around the heart, kidneys, and soft tissues. That's called vascular calcification. So just when you think you're protecting your bones, you're quietly putting pressure on your heart. Then one day, you find yourself saying, "I feel tightness in my chest. I can't catch my breath." But no one stops to ask, "Hey, could it be all that extra calcium you've been taking?" And here's what makes it even worse. Most people take calcium without magnesium. But these two minerals are like roommates. One doesn't work properly without the other. Without magnesium, calcium just wanders aimlessly. Instead of going to the bones, it clogs up your arteries. Magnesium is what guides calcium to the right place. But we always forget it. Because the phrase "calcium is important" has been repeated so much, we've ignored what goes with it, how much we really need, and which form is best. At this age, too much of anything isn't good, especially when it puts your heart at risk. Now let's talk about iron. When you were younger, iron deficiency was more common. Women lost it during periods, men burned through it with physical labor. But as we age, the body starts holding on to iron tightly, so much so that when you get too much, you can't get rid of it. It gets stored, first in the liver, then in the heart, the pancreas. This is called hemochromatosis. And over time, it can lead to heart failure, diabetes, and liver disease. So while you're thinking, I'm tired, maybe I need some iron. You could be dumping a heavy load on your system. Because your body can't say, I'll just flush out the extra. That's why doctors say, iron should only be taken if there's a proven deficiency. But our reality is different. The neighbor says, I took it and felt great. And we rush to buy the same thing. But your iron levels might already be normal or even high. Yet without knowing, you keep piling on more every day. And then you ask, why do I always feel tired? Why am I so drained? The answer's simple. Excess iron causes oxidative stress. It literally rusts your cells from the inside. You're basically rusting and still saying, but I'm taking my vitamins. What else can I do? So to sum it up, good intentions aren't enough. You have to be informed, too. At this age, the goal isn't to burden your body. It's to support it. Not to swallow everything you hear, but to question every pill. Calcium and iron supplements can be life-saving when taken at the right time, in the right dose, for the right person. But when taken randomly, in high amounts, they can clog arteries, stress your heart, and overwork your kidneys. And you'll still be thinking, I'm just doing this for my health. Getting older should mean getting wiser. It's not about jumping at every recommendation. It's about choosing what's truly right. That's health. Not too little, not too much. Just the right balance. So ignore the flashy slogans and neighbor advice. Talk to your doctor. Get a blood test. And remember, even the most expensive vitamin, if taken blindly, won't lead you to health. It'll lead you to the doctor's office.